Dude, yung intro.
Wala pa. NBA playoffs. April 30. Ano na ba? Mainit na ba? Mainit dyan? Tara
I
na.
miss my cue.
Bakit nandiyan na yung bracket? Bakit nandiyan na yung bracket?
That's what I missed out.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Anyway, April 30, Thursday. It's a whole mess up here because it's summertime.
Yeah.
It's the bench. Let's go.
Dude, intro.
Hello, Pilipinas! This is the bench, and welcome to our huddle, where we offer a layman's view of anything and everything basketball from a bunch of regular dudes who eat, sleep, and breathe hoops. Mike, we had to talk about our timing there. Our timing was kind of off.
Dude, you know what? I was muted.
Oo nga.
No, wait.
Technical difficulties, pare. Di ba?
No. We had this skit. Technical foul. Flagrant on Julio. No, we had this thing with Mike that we were gonna play a game. I was gonna forget the intro, and he was supposed to remind me. So I was gonna make my spiel and then smile lang, and then you guys will be like, "What's going on?" And Mike will go, "Julio intro," but then I haven't said April 30 yet, and then Mike goes, Julio intro. But anyway, April 30. Today's our NBA playoff recap. I'm Julio Dubs Die Hard, and with us, of course, Mike Static. Not here, out of town. Mike.
What's up from the moonies? And dito ako, malapit kay Jay.
From Long Beach, California. The great one is with us today, John D.
Thank you. You know, wearing the wife beaters for the world beating Minnesota team. Ay, talo nga pala sila, no? Sorry, hindi pala sila world beating.
And of
Bunch of
course,
idiots.
not just my favorite, not just our favorite, but everybody's favorite homie _ J Ortega on IG, Jay.
I'll do mine with an
That's
accent. What's up from the boonies?
Yun. Parang ano.
You know what?
Bahay kami ni Mike ngayon sa kanila.
You know what?
Sa kanila Johnny.
You just
Tama.
reminded me of Jay Gart the Explorer. Kasi,
Jay Gart.
sorry. But anyway, hey guys,
Yep.
before we start, we're gonna talk about the whole playoffs now. Hey,
Tama.
before I start, please do like and follow us on the Bench Live on Facebook, and please do subscribe to our ever subscribable YouTube channel, The Bench. It's gonna be a blast today because if you notice, we are in different locations in the world.
Yes.
In the world of the Philippines. Let's go to the brackets, guys. Okay, let's see if I can do this correctly. And there's the bracket right
There you go.
Nauna na nga yung bracket kanina eh.
Oo nga, nauna. Okay, where do you want to start, Jay? You want to start? Pretty much everything's
West.
closed, but you want to start
West
west? You want to
tayo,
start east? West tayo.
West tayo.
So,
Oo.
yesterday, two closeout games, and you had Phoenix closing out the Pelicans. Let's start with you, Jandy. What do you think about that closeout game and the
Oh
series
my gosh.
in general?
I was thinking I really needed my good friend Julio Hernandez to say one complimentary thing about Chris Paul, but he never did, you know. And the point guard produced a perfect game. My gosh, you know, there's a
know.
critical moment in that game where just a word from my good friend Julio, and he would have missed something, or something catastrophically Chris Paul would have happened, but then it never happened. The voodoo was not there. Yeah.
I'm saving it.
No, that's a magnificent performance by the guy we love to hate, Chris Paul. Fantastic, man. He got everything he wanted, and it was a clinic, hats off to him, I still hate him, but then hats off to that performance.
I agree.
Thank you, Julio.
I know. Sorry, great one. Jay, what about you?
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't see the game, to be honest. I was sleeping
Okay,
because
no.
I came from a gig.
Oh
Tama,
yeah.
tama. Oo nga pala, naging nga.
But to be honest, I don't think there was anyone here or around the whole world that thought the Pelicans would upset the Phoenix Suns, even
Yeah.
without Booker.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think. I think that them meeting the Mavs in the next round was already booked even before that
Yeah.
series started. So
It
Oh,
was
they
yeah.
just
already.
did what they had to do, and they're there now. Should be an awesome matchup against Luca. I wanna see the Suns try and stop Luca naman. That should be
Tama.
fun.
Mike, you have any thoughts? 'Cause I have a thought after you, but you muna.
Actually, yeah, it was a lot of Achara, more of Achara actually. Diba?
Yeah.
It was for me. It was good TV that at least the Pels won too.
Yep.
Diba? I mean, Baduy naman if every 8 seed gets swept or goes down 4-1. Diba? It
Right.
was a good story. They fought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Pels took away a lot from this year. And let's see
Mm-hmm.
them next year. If even if Zion even stays and signs an
Yeah.
extension, dude, they're a team
Mm-hmm.
to watch out for in the West.
Hmm.
Tama. I agree.
I only have
Good
one
take, Mike.
takeaway. I only have one takeaway actually is that that's the maturity of Chris Paul right now. I mean, in the olden days, you'd see Chris Paul go all out and get injured. He picked his
Mm-hmm.
games. He surgically picked his
Hmm.
games, and
Mm-hmm.
I call this like a laboratory experiment. Like he
Mm-hmm.
surgically dissected the Pelicans like a frog.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
the
Uh-uh.
Can I segue us into the next series?
yeah.
Yes.
I wanna say hi lang to Joshua. Maybe CP3 want to make a statement that GTA was yes, definitely. Yep. CP.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Ay.
Walang ginawa si GTA to be honest sa experience ni CP3 in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Marami pa siyang bigas na kailangan nakawin.
Isa
You know,
Oh,
saing.
wow.
Paul is
Diba?
too.
Excellent insight. No, even the people watching pala the bench, no, they come up with their own one-liners. That's pretty good. Bench
Yeah.
quality.
Yep.
Whatever
Paul
that
naman
means.
is too
Bench
mature
quality.
a player
Bench
to
quality.
be phased by GTA's
Yeah.
antics. That's
Uh-uh.
nothing.
I'll go, Mike. You segue into the next.
Yeah.
Hindi kasi it was a weird day for me actually kasi first of all si Doc Rivers avoids screwing up a 3-1 lead.
That day.
Oo nga eh.
Diba?
Oo.
Number 2, Chris Paul shows up in a close out game and actually leads his team to finish the series. So ako, it was so weird na yesterday na I was saying, what's next? Will the Utah Jazz finally win a series? Because of their clutchness? But it was parang dun papunta eh. And then Utah, we saw Utah became Utah.
Yeah.
But then
And then I was like, okay, kalma ka lang, Mike. The world is not changing.
the world is okay because
Diba? It's not shifting or there's no funny thing
Okay.
happening here.
okay. You want to discuss this game or you want to discuss the last play? Because we all know Dallas beats Utah 4-2. And
Yes.
it was getting close in the game, and in the end, you have Bojan. There was a play, and there was Bojan Bogdanovic
Yeah, man.
who
Yeah.
makes a last-second open three-pointer which ended up being a loss. He missed the shot, and that was a series for
Right.
Utah.
That I saw.
Yeah.
It's 50-50 right now, whether that's the right play, the wrong play. What do you guys think? I always thought that I saw the play happening, and I don't think Donovan Mitchell went hard for the ball enough. He could have. It's not like he was super covered,
Yeah.
but then it went cross court. So what's your take on the fact that with Utah, we all know we've talked about Utah's problems already, right? But on this last play, he draws up like a decoy play for Bojan to take a three, not even a two, to not even go closer, which after he made the fake. I don't know. What's your take on that type of a last play, which would be the season for the Jazz? That's the season on the line. Jay.
Me, dude. I mean, if you're the star of the team, you ask for the ball. You go hard. You break through. You break free from whatever defense is giving you, and you get the ball. I mean, Kobe would have done that. MJ would have done that. Any decent superstar would have
LeBron
done.
would have. I mean,
No,
sorry.
I said,
Oh,
who? Who?
that's where
I
the
was gonna
analogy
say.
breaks down.
I was gonna say, sana dadagdagan ko sana na LeBron
Uh,
would have.
Pass the ball.
Hindi, but in fairness
well,
to LeBron, on that crucial play, dumadaan muna sa kanya yung bola and then he passes it. Di ba?
At least
Ito hindi
nasa kanya yung
dumana
bola,
eh.
no?
Hindi
Tama,
dumana.
tama. At least that's
yeah.
Ako,
Hindi,
with
and
regards
he made
to
that
the
decision.
Utah,
Tama,
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
ako with regards to this team, man, blow the damn team up. Blow it up. Fire the coach, blow it up. I don't care who they keep. Dude, if Bog is supposed to be the guy who's going to save your season, come on, man, get rid of that team.
I was
It's
talking
gonna
to a batchmate of mine,
nakakasiyara sila.
and I was talking to a friend of mine, and he goes, statistically and analytically, it does make sense. I mean, if you're gonna take it in a very analytical way, it might be the correct play. You know what I mean? He's a 40% 3-point shooter. Dapat it's supposed to be like a layup nowadays. So you can put your season on the line, but then there's that other school of thought, guys, that you put it on the hands of a role player, or do you put it in the hands of your main superstar?
Right.
Ganun lang naman
Yeah.
yung usapan dun eh.
Yeah.
So, John, do
And
you want to say
play up
anything?
percentages with him. Like
Tama.
Bog is such
Tama
a
yan.
streaky player. He has
Yeah.
really bad games and really good games. You're gonna put your
Tama,
entire
tama.
season on the line with someone that streaky? No way, man.
Tama. I agree with Jay, and I would only like to add, I find it difficult enough to keep track of the Bogdanoviches in the NBA, no? I mean, and I think, that's a freaking metaphor for the Utah Jazz talaga, di ba? I mean, they're not only boring, they're boring in the worst way, di ba? I mean, look at this, di ba? They didn't have the guts to put their season in the hands of one of their superstars, di ba?
Right.
If you can't do that, di ba? Una, di ba? It's a travesty they continue to be named the Jazz when they haven't done anything jazzy in the past decade or so, di ba?
Amen.
Secondly, di ba?
Amen, brother. Amen.
And then ito, di ba, you don't even have the guts to call to draw up a play for one of your superstars. Your superstar. I agree with Julio. Didn't even try to get the ball and go hard. I think it's time na. They're a great regular season team. And I think they should all just set each other free. They're like forced to be with one another na lang. They're all good players na, and I'm sure they have a bright future everywhere else except Utah.
Yeah, and
That's it. That's
no,
it.
Ako, I agree with Jay. Dagdagan ko yung sinabi ni Jay. I agree with Jay, dude. They shouldn't be called the Utah Jazz. They should be called the Utah Rap. Kasi it's a rap. It's a rap. Diba? Tama na. Tanggal ka na. Diba?
And then it's funny how I was in a discussion with my friend yesterday. Actually, I was in a discussion with Manoli. Shout out to Manoli if he's watching.
Oh, Manoli.
Because Manoli has very good mathematical points, wherein if you put 40% on Bogdanovic, or as opposed to 50% taking a 2-point shot that goes into overtime, you technically have still a 50-50 chance in overtime. So technically, you were going for a 25% chance to win. Galeng, no? That's I mean, that's math.
Galing. That's
math.
no.
But I mean, if you're a old school NBA guy, just give it to your superstar and let him.
Yeah, man.
Put, I mean, ganon lang yun. So,
Yeah.
But it's funny how he said, sige. Let's agree to disagree. Oy, hey Manols. Hey, he just came on right there. Hi guys.
Oh, fantastic, huh?
It's funny how
Manoli.
Manoli just goes. He goes, let's agree to disagree because I'm 100% sure that you and Quinn Snyder will not be a coach tomorrow. And I go, yes, I 100% agree that neither me or Quinn Snyder will be the coach of Utah after this. That's true.
Galing. And that's also a bench quality hirit, huh?
That's
Whatever
that's
that means.
That's also math, dude. That's also
Manoli is the master.
master.
Sir of puppets.
What does Metallica sound with a lisp? Master. Enter Sandman. Okay, we'll briefly touch on the so briefly lang para we go into the next.
Briefly lang.
Phoenix, Dallas. What do you think?
I think it should be fun, but I think the Suns is still gonna pull this out. But I hope the Mavs give them a run for their money though. I'm hoping for a
Mhm.
better series than it might likely be.
Uh-huh.
Mike, go before we go
Yeah, ako
into
with the
the.
star power of Luka. Yeah,
Mhm.
a close 4-2 series, I would be happy.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's about right.
Ako, Team Slovenia lang ako. Team Slovenia, let's see how far they go in the NBA playoffs. You, John,
Oh well,
anything
no,
else?
it's no. I regretfully, I think I'm gonna have to wait for the next round for Chris Paul to get his comeuppance. Because I just wanted to, but I just
Come
wanted to
up.
raise also the fact that pare, Alvarado did such a great job on him all series, and then the schmuck Chris Paul, pare, pretends to forget Alvarado's name in his presser, di ba? I mean, what? That's
Sadya
that's
yun. Sadya
that's
yun. Sadya
classic
yun.
The giant.
Classic.
Chris Paul, di ba? I mean, kudos to him, He's like a textbook supervillain, di ba? Galing.
Bro,
He's on
bro,
brand, on brand.
bro, bro,
SP3.
pagbigyan nyo na si Chris Paul, di ba? He was mistaken for Region Rondo for the longest.
Oo nga pala.
Di ba? Andyan pa rin ka, di ba? Parang
Um,
tinatch si Rondo.
next series.
Bigyan.
Next series that
Next
closed out.
series.
Closed out yesterday also. And I'll start now with this. I'm gonna make a rant, okay? We
Uh-huh.
all know that, and this is how the TNT announcer, and I forgot his name, the guy with Grant Hill.
Oh my God. Baon mo pa rin?
Dude,
Bao.
Baon.
Golden State. Golden
Yeah.
State averts crisis and stops Denver from chasing history and wins 4-1. Anak ng tipaklong, anong chasing history to?
For one nga eh.
I mean, di ba? I mean, they start the broadcast with Golden State trying to close out the Nuggets, and the Nuggets trying to chase history by what do you mean, being the first team to ever come back. Is that how we phrase a team being down 3-0 na ba now, that they're chasing history? So I mean to tell me that if I want to be in, I mean, it's a very positive rose-colored glasses way of looking at being down 3-0, right? Yeah, you're down
Tama,
3-0,
tama.
dude, pare, I'm chasing history. Anyway,
That's wrong on so many levels because ang unang-una, but the Dubs aren't being coached by Doc Rivers, no. So there was no chance. Diba? There was no story. I agree with you, Julio. It's a non-story, diba? What a bunch of idiots.
Anyway, but so the Golden State does close it out at 4-1, and it was a hard-fought game,
The last
lot-
two, I would say, no?
the last two, but
games
a
were
lot
hard-fought.
of the podcasters outside of Dubs pod, I mean outside of like the Dubs beat writers and all that, a lot are putting a certain subtext that they thought the Warriors was strong. Now they're not so sure about it because of of how Denver put up a fight. Yeah, I'm saying that's all I'm saying there. If you check the Ringer podcast and all
Uh-huh.
that, so. What did you think, Jay, about the
Well,
game?
Yeah.
I thought they were ahead and confident enough to close this out for sure. That Kerr was experimenting. Screw all this that Denver put up a really good fight. Blah blah blah. It's
Tama,
all
tama.
blah blah blah. Kerr was experimenting. He gave Kuminga some playing time. You know what I mean?
Tama. Oo.
Calm down, guys.
Oo.
The Dubs played really well. They executed the way they should have. That last 5 minutes, Kerr coached the hell out of that team. And you can easily see the man where the Dubs can take this. So
Yeah.
I call that BS.
John.
Uy, Bill Simmons, pare. Incidentally, BS, Bill Simmons, the ringer, pare. Di ba? What a jerk. Another jerk, pare. If you're not the Celtics, pare. So, ano.
Ito
I hope
mga
he sees
Simmons.
us.
Ito mga Simmons talaga. No?
Mga Simmons, pare.
John, we'll go to you, but
Yeah.
you know the reporters who I was talking about.
Yes, yes.
It was the podcast of the Ringer NBA show with Justin Veriani and I think Rob Mahoney, and then there was the one of what's his name, the Memphis Grizzlies fan reporter nila, the guy with the really good voice.
Yeah.
and KOC, Kevin O'Connor, they were talking.
Kevin
But
O'Connor, yeah.
Kevin O'Connor thought that it meant nothing. The other guy who was Memphis beat writer is
No, no,
super
no. Solid,
Memphis.
solid naman si Kevin O'Connor. It's obviously, diba? I mean, let's get it out of the way, diba? It's freaking Bill Simmons with this editorial agenda, diba? Trying to make
Yeah.
something out of nothing.
And he's so
Pero
happy
the
with
only
the
reason, pare, so happy for the Celtics. The only reason naman why the series sort of looked like it was going to be a bit difficult was because pare si Jokic played like a freaking MVP candidate, pare, di ba?
Yeah, true.
I
yeah,
mean,
That's
that's
also
true.
true.
he was he was the anti Carl Anthony Towns, pare, di ba?
That's
So,
true.
he
Yeah,
knew he
this
was a
guy
big
actually
guy. He
has
went
heart.
for high percentage shots. He was setting up his teammates. Diba? He did everything he needed to do just to make it competitive. Mad props to him. But at the
Yes.
same time, I agree with Jay, pare. The Dubs were, they said this is the perfect time for them to be experimenting a bit and
Yes.
perhaps to give some burn to some people who might need
Yes.
the experience later. I thought
Agree.
it wasn't only a well-coached series for the Dubs, no? I think the front office did a fantastic job of making sure that the youngsters will have confidence going into the series, something they can build on not only in the next series but then perhaps take into to the next year. They're able to give Steph some much needed rest also. I mean, it
Mm-hmm.
was just a team firing on all cylinders, and I'm not blowing any smoke up anyone's ass by saying that the Dubs took care of business, and I respect the heck out of that.
Yep.
We'll get
Well said.
Manoli. We'll get to Manoli's statement when we talk about the when we get to the Warriors Memphis matchup. Ikaw,
Uh,
Mike.
Ako I agree with John D.
No, no, no. Before
Alam
we
na
move
this.
to
Alam na this.
Ako I agree with John D. No?
Alam na this.
Si Jokic he played the opposite of Cat, no? In fact, he was a dog, dude. He was a dog. He played like a dog, and he played like the MVP, diba? That he is.
Uh,
Um, and also, we have to
Props,
remember that this death lineup that they're calling sa Dubs
mhm,
hasn't really played together for so long, dude. So they're
mhm.
just running through
Tama.
their paces now in that first round, trying to figure out sets that work,
Mm.
combinations that work. And that was that. Diba? I mean, they got
Mhm.
to a comfortable lead in the start of the series, decided that, you know what, we can spare a few games and try some new stuff in preparation for the next rounds,
Tama.
diba? Kasi again, they needed playing time together. That lineup needed playing time together for it to, make a good run talaga up to the finals. So, but end
um,
of the day, Achara, dude.
Chara. But okay,
Chara, exact.
okay. My last thing I'm gonna say is that since you guys talking about this death lineup, I
Mhm.
don't buy it. I think that weird. I mean, it's good. I mean, I like that lineup.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a small ball lineup. It's pretty cool, right? But look how
Uh-uh.
they ended with GP2. I really think the death lineup
Mhm.
that Kerr and the marketing is that's all misdirection. That's they have other things up their sleeves, to be honest, than just
Mhm.
putting out
Tama.
this death lineup in the first
Actually, in that
round.
line, sugat line up pala yan. Diba yun?
Yeah, diba? So
Masusugatan lang yung kalaban, hindi mamamatay.
I still think Kerr has a lot more up his sleeve, and you'll see like
Mm.
GP2 and a lot more coming out. And
Tama.
it was like, hindi pa to yung end game ng Warriors. On
That's
that
right.
note, the
So wait,
Memphis. What?
is that you saying that they'll really go far this year?
No, that's me saying that.
Ah,
Baiting, baiting.
That
dating.
that's
I
me
mean,
saying. That's
okay.
me saying that Kerr has no idea what he's doing yet.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
Wait,
Parang for a
Ang
second
galing,
there,
galing.
parang andun ka na
Ah,
papunta
galing.
eh.
but
Mahusay, mahusay, di ba?
their
Okay.
kalaban, who just closed out
Mhm.
their series today,
Yeah.
is the Memphis Grizzlies, who again
Yeah.
came back from a double-digit deficit, which I called. Well, they
Perfectly
came
called.
back. Yeah,
Yeah.
to start the fourth quarter, Memphis was down by 10, and of course, again, they figure out a way to pull the victory from the Minnesota Timberwolves and close out the series
Yeah.
4-2. I'm gonna Mike, ikaw naman because marami kang
Yes.
opposite and pusit
Yeah.
and opposite, and, diba?
Well, ito, di ba, I asked for this matchup actually. It was pretty
Yeah, actually
entertaining,
there.
di ba?
Yeah,
For the,
yeah.
Uh-uh.
it was pretty entertaining for
Very
the most part.
entertaining.
And like I said in the last episode, these teams were good for each other, at least in terms of playoff exposure, diba, and experience. I don't think the Minnesota could have asked for a better opponent for their this trip to the playoffs at least. Kasi if they faced any other team, medyo baka hindi sila nakaporma. At least they won two. And it gave them some confidence, diba? And they almost won it, actually. There are two other games that they could have won easy and they could have taken the series. So, at least they go home.
This should have been done 4-1 already.
4-1 or 4-2, diba? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At least there's a takeaway for them na they could have won the series. They were there. And then they just have to not throw it away, diba? Diba? First time you can always, even Jordan did that, diba? The first few times he went to the playoffs, diba? I mean, it's a learning experience, these mga losses like this on your first few trips. So yeah, man, I mean, it ended the way it did. I was surprised that Memphis struggled, diba? That they had to fight Minnesota. Not that, well, I always thought it was going to be a bugbugan series, which it was. But I never thought na si Ja would not be able to perform and play like, he played like, he didn't play like how he played in the regular season. And
he didn't play like the most improved player ba?
Uy, may hugot yan.
alam mo, feeling ko parang linalaglag niya para most improved ulit sa next year. So, whatever.
Most improved sa playoffs.
Sa playoffs. No, I'm gonna have one take, and I know Jay will want to follow up on what I say after. So Jay, you're next. But Anthony Edwards is a running back playing basketball. The guy is
galing.
Wild,
man.
Tama. And Brandon Clark was the MVP in this league for me. And I'm sure, Jay, you're going to expound on that. So go, man.
Well, yeah, man. Cat just wasn't boxing out. I don't know why their coach didn't put a body on Brandon Clark either, apart from Cat. They have a lot of bigs. Reed and whoever else. That is
Greg Monroe.
But Brandon Clark, to me, saved the Memphis Grizzlies series. All those comebacks, those were all him getting boards, getting putback, making sure they had a second, third, fourth shot at the basket. So, with regards to Ja's play during the entire series, he did not have a great series, mostly because he wasn't scoring as much as we're used to seeing him score. But he did rebound. He did dish a lot of assists. I thought even without the scoring, he was still sort of in control of his own team. That's just my opinion. And that's also why they won. One other thing about the Grizzlies is, even if their superstar is not delivering with regards to the point, there are a lot of players there on that team that can easily step up and carry that load for Ja. You've got Bane, you've got Brooks, and a gamut of other players. Even the other guards were scoring. Anderson scored a little, but as a second seed against a seventh seed, I also saw a lot of holes in the Memphis Grizzlies game. And these are the holes I'm pretty sure the Dubs will exploit when they finally meet each other.
Uy, baiting.
Yeah. I'm gonna say hi to Bobby who jumped into the stream. Jay, watch your head. Jay, watch your head. John Morant's dunk was jaw dropping.
Uy, nice. Quality bench hit it.
Yeah, I will say Ja. Yeah, diba? Yeah.
Ako have to say lang, galing mag-bait. Magaling mag-bait to si Jay.
Galing, husay, yeah.
He's a master.
He's a master.
Yes. A master.
You know what? On that note, on that master note, we're gonna quickly move and on
that note pa talaga.
On that note, because I think the Dubs are screwed. Oh, diba? Manoli goes, I hope Memphis matches up better than against the Warriors. They needed the Timberwolves to mess up so many times to win, which is true. I mean,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh
that's
yeah.
exactly what you guys are
Yeah.
saying. Na,
Oo.
pero magaling kasi talaga Memphis eh. So,
Mhm.
on,
Hindi yata kasing galing
Hindi,
ng
saka,
Dubs.
can I just add to what I was saying,
yeah,
what I
go,
said
go.
kanina?
Ayun. Oo.
Actually, ito si Ja. It was a wake-up call also for Ja. He was so smug the whole season, di ba? Crying na he should be an all-star. He should be
Mhm.
considered for the MVP
He was
race. And
though.
then now, they're in the playoffs and then he plays like this, di ba? Na parang, it's a wake-up
Mhm.
call also for these up-and-comers na, you may be a star in the regular season, but when you get to the playoffs, man, that's a
It's
totally
a
different
different ball game.
monster
Tama.
na, di ba? Medyo,
That's
ano
true.
muna,
That's
pay
true.
your dues,
You're
man.
Pay
you're
your
not a star.
dues. Tama yan.
You're not a star of all
Di
seasons.
ba? Otherwise, you become
Ah.
a Donovan
Magbayad
Mitchell.
ka ng buwis.
Di
Bayad
ba?
ka ng
Mamili
buwis.
ka.
Oh, yes.
Mamili ka.
Yeah.
Di ba? Michael Jordan, Donovan Mitchell. Pili.
Oo. Tama.
Very, very quickly, para we can jump into the East, para we're not so long. John D, what do you think about
Ay.
the next series? Golden
Well,
State,
yeah.
Memphis. Will
Well, about Golden State, Memphis, definitely, I believe that, Memphis and Minnesota did their best to keep one another in the series, no? So, and I definitely think it had more. I agree with Manoli. It had more with Minnesota screwing it up, diba? I mean, they're the Doc Rivers of fourth quarters, pare, diba? They found a way to freaking lose. On the other hand, though, I can understand. I can understand why Memphis can be a deadly team for the Dubs to come up against. I am confident that the Dubs will still pull out of it, but I don't think it's going to be a sweep. If only because if there's something these Memphis Grizzlies have shown is that they're long, they can play physical. They love the fact that they can just sneak up on other people. They think they believe I think unfairly that people don't respect them. That's not true, but
Mhm.
then they've been using it all season long in order
Mhm.
to motivate themselves. Diba? I still
Right.
think they're a bunch of punks, and I'm happy that so many people called out Ja on that. No, if there's something we need to do more, it's more rants on Ja, more rants. No,
more
he
rants.
hasn't proven he hasn't proven anything yet. But I can definitely see how Memphis can give the Dubs some trouble, because the
Yeah.
Dubs they play pretty basketball, they play winning basketball, and the Grizzlies they're the sort of inexperienced team that because they don't know their inexperience, um, parang they can accidentally propel themselves into greater heights, diba? Anyone who's played any sort of competitive sport realizes na sometimes you come across this team or this other person na they're not as good as you, but because they don't know it, somehow they match up really really
Yeah.
well.
The innocence
No,
of
Uh-huh.
youth.
the innocence of youth, yeah. So I understand why
Kaya pala
some Dubs
inosente ako.
fans. Oo. Ayun na. Jay, wala pang 420. No,
Wala pa ba?
wala pa. No, but that's it.
I'm,
That's it. That's it for
I'm, galing,
for
galing.
that series.
I'm gonna end the West with what Bobby says, and I'm sure Jay will get this. Is that pagpunta ng Warriors sa Memphis, kakanta sila touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the
Nice.
pouring rain.
Galing, galing, no?
Appropriately.
Wala ba tayong prediction?
Not me.
Ah.
Wala.
Let's
Sumagot
let's go
agad eh.
into
Not me.
not me. Let's go into the East.
Can
And
I predict lang
Manoli says,
something? Can I predict lang something for that series?
well,
Ayun,
Manoli
Manoli
goes,
says they
they'll
might
all go
both
small ball, and Bobby
I
has on the
doubt,
Grizzlies.
ano
Oh,
do,
go, go.
I doubt Memphis will go
Punk's not
small
dead.
ball when
Nice one.
when the biggest thing they have an advantage of against the Dubs is their height and their length.
Yeah,
They
but
Mhm.
have JJJ, they have Brandon. They're gonna use that. They're gonna use that. I
no,
don't
and
think
that's
they're
their
gonna
Mhm.
play
no, that's
small
their
ball.
small
Kung
ball
small
na.
ball man, yeah, tsaka kung small ball man,
Uh-huh.
only because JJJ averages 6 fouls a game in the playoffs. And so Brandon will and so Brandon
Uh,
Clark will likely play more center than JJJ. Yun lang
Oo,
yun.
tama.
Pilit
Oh,
na
go.
small ball, hindi sadya.
Ako yung
Tama.
prediction ko lang. Si Draymond,
Go.
Draymond will average 8 points, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists, and 1 shove on Ja per game.
I agree with the
Uy,
one
nice.
shot.
I agree with
May
that.
isang pitik yan, bawat laro.
Tama.
Isa rin kay
Pare.
Brandon Clark somewhere.
Oo. Pero wala, Dubs yan, pare. They might both play small ball, pare, but the Dubs have championship pedigree.
Or
Sa
two-
small
or
ball
two
na yan,
It's,
I don't
Oo.
hear you.
This series is
they don't
experience.
small ball better than the other team, eh.
It's a series of experience against inexperience. We sort of know naman what normally will happen when those two collide. So.
Ito. I think this is next. Okay, we're going to the East, huh? This is next. This I think we all knew would happen when Miami closed out Atlanta. Did we talk about that already, Jay? Parang hindi pa, no?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
we talked about that already.
Yes,
And also Philadelphia averted crisis averted and history did not happen. And Philadelphia beats out Toronto to advance, right? What do you think now about Miami, Philadelphia? Because I mean, unless you want to talk about the Philadelphia-Toronto series, just jump in. But we can go straight into what we think about the more heavier boxing match, which is Miami-Philadelphia. So,
Wait, people are aware naman of the orbital fracture of di ba? Embiid.
Yes,
yeah, that's why there.
Oh, yeah.
Diba? So,
Yeah,
That's a
that's
big
the only
problem.
reason. That's the only reason it's worth talking about.
And
This
that's
series.
That's a
funny
big problem,
kasi-
pun intended. That's their biggest player. That's their biggest star. That is
And,
Embiid.
and the timing of it, di ba? Right after si Embiid declares na, you know what, I don't care for my thumb injury. I'm gonna have the surgery after the playoffs. And I'm gonna play through the pain. And then and then he gets
goes
another
and
injury
breaks
that
his
takes him out. Di ba?
malas si Doc ever since he thought he was too good for a Celtics rebuild.
Hugot.
Ayan, hugot, may hugot yan.
Hindi, tama ka dyan, Bob. Ako, I agree. The team was, they kept that team together mga 3 years too long.
Sino mas malupit daw? Si Jimmy Butler o yung Butler ni Mr. Deeds?
I am very, very sneaky. I am very, very sneaky.
I don't know what this is for though. Sabi ni Bobby, Mr. T prediction, pain, I pity the fool. For who kaya?
Pain, a pitiful.
Baka kay Ja.
Who?
Kay T Morant?
Timorant.
But there,
Din si Iggy dun eh.
yeah, it would have been good for me. It would have been good, but I don't know how Philadelphia will be able to match up if Embiid can't play properly
Without
against
Embiid,
Miami.
Tama.
Wala na. Game over.
They're screwed, man. They're screwed without Embiid.
Over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Oo.
it's done.
Yeah.
Makasweep pa ito.
we all think Miami is gonna take this. Is
Yeah.
that how it's gonna go? Pretty much.
Parang hands down.
Yeah.
So do I move
No
to the next
Embiid?
bracket?
Done.
No Embiid. Mike, anything else? John D?
Wala
On
na.
what? Wala na?
Nothing. Boring na yan.
Another thing that looked boring was how Milwaukee closed out Chicago. And
Yes.
very disappointing.
Over.
Except,
overpowered.
yeah.
Hello, Doc Papi. Champ, oh my God. I didn't read that one. Good morning.
Ako na magbabasa. Champion na Dubs.
Prediction ni Doc.
Yeah.
Good day
Champion na
mga
Dubs.
paps. Champion na Dubs.
Champion na Dubs, pero laters yung kulay.
Oo.
So there, I mean, wait. Yun. Isang manok rin ni Mike to. Mike, what did you think about how disappointing Chicago was after taking the
Dude,
second game?
they freaking rolled over and just played there. Diba? Lavine didn't play. Caruso didn't play. It was like, diba? Yun na.
Yun na. I think, okay, this is, okay. You know what?
Diba?
I get
They were the Chicago Possums on that last time.
I get now reporters when they say that there's a different 4-1 from the Warriors Denver and this Milwaukee Chicago. There's a very, very glaring different 4-1
Yes,
of the
yes.
series. You know what I mean?
Pare, the Nuggets tried their best, man. Diba?
Yep.
While Chicago
These
tried
guys, pare. Pare, didn't even get Grayson Allen back, diba? I mean, diba? Have some self-respect naman, diba? Grayson
Hindi, ito
Allen
na
took
lang.
out Caruso for such a long period of time,
Diba?
tapos walang payback. Wala.
Ito na
Walang
lang. Look at the
payback.
3-4-2s in the West. The 3-4-2s were different. Were three different 4-2s. Di ba iba kwenta niyan, di ba?
Yeah,
Yun, sabi ni Doc, typical DeRozan. Playoff DeRozan. Magaling naman
Playoff.
Playoff
siya
DeRozan.
sa regular season.
Yan, di
Pero
ba?
si
Yan.
playoff
Yes.
DeRozan lumabas.
Pili si Ja.
Tama.
Gusto niya maging DeRozan.
Okay, ito we talked about the whole sweep of Boston Brooklyn because I know I saved it all for this matchup. I think this is a matchup
Yes.
which is going to be the premier matchup in the second round. I think you guys will agree, right?
Hands
So
down. Hands down.
Milwaukee is going to face the very, very popular now, even to all reporters right now, or podcasters, or beat writers, or analysts, the Boston Celtics. So, Jay, I know you're gonna,
Yeah,
you're
well,
going to. I know you have a lot to talk about.
I have
So you start.
I have two favorite series that are gonna happen soon. I'm gonna enjoy watching the Dubs and the Grizz. I think that's gonna be a really good series also. Well, no doubt, I think naman with regards to who's gonna win that, but that's gonna be a well played and fun series to watch. But the best series of all will be the Bucks against Boston, hands down.
Yes.
This is gonna
That's
be
it.
a war, man. Boston has enough to try and at least tire Giannis out. I don't see anyone stopping Giannis in the entire league, to be honest. But if there's a team that can match up man for man, I mean, I saw Tatum take care of KD. I'm not saying Tatum's gonna be guarding Giannis, but you have Horford, you have Tice, you have Williams. There are a lot of players you can throw at Giannis to at least make it hard for him to score. Try to stop him in the backcourt rather than wait for him to get the ball, which is harder, no? It's going to be harder to stop him once he has that ball, half court, tapos na yan. But matchup, ang ganda, maganda yung, ano to,
It's a good
chess
match.
match to. I don't know if Udoka has enough experience in him. He most definitely has enough brains in him as a coach. He's pop trained and all that. But man, I'm excited.
So-
I'm excited for this.
So's Mike Budd, man. These are two pop train. Am I right?
Yeah,
Mike?
I was,
Yes.
I was gonna
right,
say,
you're right,
this
you're
is-
Yun.
right,
Yeah, Mike,
This is
go.
the San Antonio. This is the San Antonio Spurs versus the San Antonio Spurs.
So- Wait, Mike, you're next. But I was gonna,
Spurs against
I was
the
gonna
Spurs.
give Jay some. I was gonna give Jay some trivia lang because he mentioned who will guard Giannis, and I heard it also in a I'm like Mr. Podcast, so I heard it in another podcast that the person when they faced each other in the regular season, the person who guarded Giannis the most from the Celtics was Grant Williams. Just a trivia
Williams,
out
yeah.
there.
Ah.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
maybe
There you go.
because Robert Williams wasn't there or Horford just happened
Yeah,
not
yeah,
to be
yeah.
in the matchup, but it was
Right,
all
right.
the one who was on in terms of minutes when they met. It's Grant
Uh-huh.
Williams. So we'll see. We'll see this playoffs because you can't also put like Robert Williams or Horford on him. Mabagal yun. Giannis will just run all over them. You know what I mean?
Tama.
So
Uh-huh.
especially if
Julio.
Giannis plays small forward. Okay.
Julio,
Mike. Yes.
baka pwede mo naman sabihin doon sa mga podcast na pinapakinggan mo, mag-like din sila sa atin.
Good. I'm working on that pa. Diba?
Yeah, get on the Ringer podcast and say, "Now you guys suck. Please like us."
Yeah.
So actually, you mentioned who's guarding Giannis, diba? There's one guy already that's running his mouth in the media and is excited to start. Horford.
Okay.
Yan.
He's already saying that he's looking forward to guarding Giannis. So let's see, man. I mean,
Pero tama si
Horford is
Julio.
not the.
Horford,
You know what?
Horford's too slow for Giannis, man.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward
Well,
to guarding Giannis,
well,
and he's not guarding Giannis at all.
That's him saying he'll guard Giannis, diba? That's not email though. That's saying he'll use.
Yeah.
So tingnan natin.
Ako,
Baka
I
excited lang.
really feel they're gonna throw quite a few number of bodies on Giannis. Or
Yeah.
tapos trapping yan for sure. The thing naman with Giannis is to stop his penetrations. So if they work together as a team, Smart leading that way, the newly crowned defensive player of the year. I mean, I'm not saying Boston will beat Milwaukee, but I'm seeing a very hard fought series. and we're all gonna enjoy this series.
Oh, I'm
for sure.
going home.
Oi.
Guaranteed.
Johnny,
Hi.
Johnny,
Can we go
you're the
home?
you're the supplier of si Johnny. Si Johnny now is a supplier of everything beautiful and cute in this podcast. It used to be EJ. Now it's Johnny. Definitely, I'm
Yeah,
not beautiful.
my
You're cute.
Oh, no, my apologies. Si Carmen kasi sana eh.
My party.
Yeah. Of course, darling. My bad, boys. My bad. Yeah.
No bad, dude. We're all about family here in the bench.
Yeah, we need cuteness overload here.
Yeah.
Papangit naman natin lahat eh.
Nah.
Aran.
Are you fishing, Jay, for me to say no, Jay? You're not pangit. Come on, Jay. No, dude.
Pare, wait naman for the ano.
Ganda. Tang fishing.
Pare, wait for our subscribers to be the one to say that, di ba?
Oo. Ganda. Ikaw na talaga, Julio. Ang ganda-ganda ng pangit.
Dude, I have 100% faith that no one will call me guapo on this stream.
Is that Manoli numbers? 100%. Manoli numbers, man.
Oy, si Doc, meron pa yan.
Yeah. Actually, all semis matchups are okay except for the Sixers kasi out indefinitely si Embiid. By the way, how did Embiid get that injury? You know
Oh,
what?
he tempted the basketball gods. Embiid said he's gonna play through injury. So the gods, the basketball gods said, talaga ha? Bigyan pa kita ng isa pa.
No, but that's a good question, Doc, because if he has a concussion and an eye orbital something, he must have gotten hit sometime in the game. I don't know exactly when.
Yeah.
Nasikoy siguro. Diba? So
Where
how
exactly
unfortunate
and
naman.
who exactly hit him, I don't know either. Pero sabi niya nung kinakausap siya nila Chuck eh. Nagtatawanan pa si Chuck tsaka si Shaq. Kasi sabi niya, you know, I played through injury, blah, blah, blah. I got hit in the face. I think I broke my face. Sabi nga ni Embiid. Tawanan sina Shaq and then he made it. No, seriously, I think I broke my face.
Oh my God.
And he did.
Yeah. Well,
Pero
okay.
I wouldn't discount him playing with a mask at some point in the series.
At some
But
point,
not that
Tama,
it might
tama.
not
Right
be-
away. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and it might not even matter.
Yeah.
Kung ganun.
Right.
And you know what? In the end, I feel sorry, but not that much sorry, but Miami was the consistent first seed the whole. Technically, it should be Miami. They're not very flashy, but it should be Miami, right? Who's going into the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yes.
I mean, they're
Tama,
a former finalist team. They they lost to the Eastern champion last year, so that's
Yeah.
so they should be. I mean,
They should be in there.
Of course, yeah. And they don't offend our basketball sensibilities because they're not as boring as the Utah Jazz. Diba? They're just consistent, but then they play hard. They have a lot of character. Pare, yeah,
They know
I
how
can go
to
for
win.
that.
They have a good
They know how to win, diba?
Ayun.
no,
Okay.
Manoli
Good.
said
Siakam. Nice one, Manol.
Siakam hit
Siakam
Embiid.
pala.
Hey, okay, before we're about to close this up, but hey, I remember all of us talking before how Siakam could not live up to the playoffs during the bubble and all that, right? And then we were talking about whether he was too young or whatever. I think he's not so bad this year, man. You just got to give him a little bit more years to become the guy in the Raptors. And he wasn't that bad in this series. Would you agree or not agree?
I would agree, but I don't think he's going to be leading the Raptors. I think eventually and sooner than later, it's going to be Barnes.
Oh, well, okay. I'm not going to argue the Rookie of the Year also, diba?
The guy
Okay.
was
Well, to follow
point guard for them.
Oo.
Yeah.
Hanep lang.
What were you saying,
But
John?
just to follow up on what Jay was saying, no, I acknowledge that Shakam did so much better in these playoffs, no, but I don't see him becoming the next Jason Tatum. No, so I don't think
that's
it's going to
true.
be.
I don't think.
Yeah, he won't.
Much-
He won't. No, but then
Much
he's
better
a good
than the
player.
Siakam we saw in the bubble, at
He's
least.
definitely.
Yeah, he's
Diba?
a definitely good player.
Okay. Hey, this was fun. Hey, I like where you. Oh wait, Mike, you have anything else to say?
No, good.
Tatalon na sa swimming pool yan eh.
Oh, don't mind the beads of sweat in my face. I mean, that's so sorry. Kanina pa. Tatalon na ako.
Uy, tingin mo to. Lalo next year, yari lahat sila sa Miami because they'll draft Kai Soto na Pinoy Power.
Yeah.
Oy.
Okay.
Na-bait. Teka lang.
Yeah.
He's about to bite.
Yeah,
Guys.
I am gonna bite. I am gonna bite this one, dude. Doc, this will be my last take for the day. Miami has the 27th pick, and the Dubs have the 28th. Unahan na lang tayo, Doc. Let's see.
Miami fan pala si Doc.
No, he goes Pinoy Power. Kasi Pinoy Power.
Pinoy Power. Yeah.
Spolstra, Kai can go to Spolstra, which is okay by me.
Yeah.
Or he can go to Dubs, wherein it's like 50% Pinoy in San Francisco. So,
Sandali, anong pick nyo? Anong pick nyo, Julio?
28.
Yung Miami?
27.
27. Unahan kayo.
Yeah.
25th kami. Let's go, Kai.
Let's go, Kai. But we're all in agreement that we hope Kai gets drafted into the NBA to be the first.
Oh, yeah.
Kahit saan. Basta
Kahit
mag-draft.
saan. And preferably first round para guaranteed contract. Yan ang gusto ko
Yes.
dyan,
Oo.
diba?
Tama yan.
On that
Kahit
note,
saan, wag lang sa...
Sino?
Wag na
Kanina?
natin, sige. Kahit,
Okay.
wag na natin sabihin. Wag lang sa jazz.
Wag na. Oh, dude. In fact, do you know who's he's marketing for the Jazz to get him also? Si Clarkson.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, but you know, only because he's the only Filipino in Utah, di ba? So,
I saw a report. I saw a report of the 7 teams. If I can't find it really fast, I'm not going to hold up this podcast. But I can't find it. So there are 7 teams na daw who there: Golden State, Phoenix, Utah, Sacramento, Cleveland, Memphis, and Miami have reportedly all inquired about Kai Soto.
some really good teams and a Spunko
Oo nga
team that where he can actually get
Oo.
some playing time though with the
yes.
Cleveland. Not
Okay.
bad choices.
Spurs, he'll surely blossom kay Pop. Yep.
Yan.
Tama yan. You know, I agree that.
Oo naman. Totoo naman.
Thank
The
you, Doc,
development
for
staff of San Antonio. Mad props to them.
key. Thank you, Doc, for watching the show. Thank you, Manoli. Thank you, Bobby. Joshua also, and everyone who dropped by. And this was great. I love the madness that we had today, and I'm changing it to our beautiful faces. Diba? And on that note, hey, nice having you, John D.
Thank you.
Family. Love to see cuteness and beauty here.
Pare,
Mike-
I'm happy that Mike made me pilit. Bakasyon.
Kamusta panahon dyan, bro? Kamusta panahon dyan?
Well, you know, I don't know. Kayo, how's your vacation? Yeah.
Ito,
Kasi
wait.
ano eh.
I'll show you the outside. I'll show you the outside.
Sige. Sige.
where you
You
are.
show me. Oo.
So,
Wait
so
lang.
this is,
Long
I'll show
Beach.
you guys where, ano lang,
Yeah,
before
okay.
we go. Kasi,
Oo.
maganda tong place na to actually. Baka
Maganda.
pwede natin i-vlog,
Sobrang
diba?
Ayan.
Baka pwede natin i-vlog.
Ayan. Dito ka rin pala, Mike? The Mike! Ano ginagawa? Wow! You're here all this time? Ang galing ah! Parang laki ng place eh. Ang laki kasi ng place. Laki ng pool. Hindi kami nagkikita.
You know what? On that note, thank you everyone for watching. Game is on Monday. There's no game tomorrow. Monday, 1 a.m. Philippine time is the Milwaukee Bucks Celtics, 3:30 Dubs Grizzlies. That starts the second round. Jay, send us home, man.
All right, man. And as always, you heard it first here and
The bench!
The bench!
The boonies!
The beach! The boonies!